What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today, BCH USD. It is the first day of July, and here we are at about $203 with roughly 11 hours left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We're moving up a little bit. From our lows of 181 to $210 today at the highs. Moving up a little bit. Not bad. And this was to be expected, right? We've been saying anytime below 200, anytime around 200, really anytime below 300, we've been saying it's a great time to buy. It's a really phenomenal time to buy. And I think at this point, it's becoming more obvious that we are at a landing pad, right? The red dragon's taking flight. We're at the landing pad, maybe ready for the green dragon to take over and see some growth. How far will that birdie fly? We'll see. We'll have to wait, be patient, and figure that out for ourselves. We're going to look at the 1 hour time frame, trying to figure this out, seeing what's going on here. Again, I don't expect anything too crazy to happen. I know Bitcoin Cash has seen a dramatic drop. From the month of May to the month of June, we saw a dramatic drop, you guys. I don't think that we're going to see any kind of dramatic pump anytime soon. Maybe we get a little bit of excitement and we come back down, but more or less, I think we'll be in this area and probably closer to this area for months to come. Months and months to come. And it's completely possible that in those months we do even see lower lows. It is completely possible. This area is not just, it's not just here. It's probably more like this, actually. It's a little, bigger, a little bit more broad. Anyways, 1 hour time frame. Let's get into that. Let's look at the short-term stuff. 1 hour time frame here, and we can actually check out the BCH BTC pair. Let's just see. 1 hour time frame here. Yeah, the RSI is looking bullish. Kind of opposite of what Bitcoin's doing for the time being. You look at the 1 hour here on Bitcoin. The RSI is getting oversold, not getting overbought. Bitcoin Cash is getting overbought, not getting oversold. So that's nice to see, just relatively speaking. MACD does look bullish. The stochastics are bullish as well. You could come down a little bit. $204 right now. I mean, if we were to go right back below $200, just below there, I mean, that's okay. Maybe literally right there at 199. That's fine. 4 hour time frame. Yeah, you had a point of resistance here, right? Point of resistance right there. You've just broken through it, finding support at this point of resistance, and then probably moving back higher. That point of resistance is right there at $200. So again, could you wick a little bit below it? Sure. It's fine. Stochastics coming down a little bit, maybe bounce off the 50. Yeah, you'll probably chill in this area here, and then perhaps later tomorrow we can expect some growth going into the end of this week. I do think that we'll continue to grow. It's not going to be crazy, but more or less like what we've been doing. We'll continue to grow. MACD taking on a bit of a bullish shape, breaking through the zero. Nice. Yeah, looking all right. Looking all right. Good enough. Daily time frame RSI. See, this is what Bitcoin BTC wanted to do but couldn't do, right? BCH is doing it, man. Found support at its oversold zone, looking like it wants to move higher. Getting that bullish divergence to play out for it. Looking good. As you're moving lower volumes dying off, makes sense that you'd move higher. Stochastics do look bullish. And the MACD is building bullish momentum, which is really the best thing that we could ask for in this kind of environment. So good. All good things. Let's look at the BCH BTC pair. Daily time frame here. We did have bullish divergence as well, and it's played out. Now we've got higher highs in the price, higher highs in the RSI, looking like we want to aim for this overbought zone. Stochastics are overbought. The MACD continues to build bullish divergences or bullish momentum as well. Definitely makes me assume that we're going to move higher and that we're going to see some type of retracement based off of this high to low here. High to low, 008 Bitcoins to 003 Bitcoins at the low. We probably go up to the 236 at least, if not maybe all the way up to this 382. So that should promote growth in the way of like a 10% to 30% move versus Bitcoin. If Bitcoin in that time moves up at all, that just adds to the growth that BCH will see, right? If Bitcoin moves up 10% in the time that BCH moves up 30% versus Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash on the USD pair is more like moving up 40%. And 40% of 200 would be around like 280. So, right? Is that right? 40% of 200. Yeah, it would be 280. I don't know why my brain crapped out there for a second. But it still got me the right answer. Okay, 280. which again, we have targets that are around 280 and above, $300, right around that $300 level and above. And who knows, maybe we see a golden ratio retracement. Again, I'm not skeptical of a move that does take us above $300. I'm just skeptical of anything that's lasting. I'm skeptical of anything that's like a serious recovery from here. We see something like this, it's just going to be a bounce, a bull trap, right? And we'll come back down. Whatever takes us above $300, if it comes, it'll be fast. And then likely over time, we will come back down to these same levels and potentially even see lower lows. We're going to hang out in this area for some time. That was the main point I was trying to drive home in the beginning. BCH, BTC, daily chart looks great. Looks great, looks ready for action, ready for more to the upside. Bouncing off of this area, great, double bottom, relatively speaking, that's awesome. BCH, BTC, RSI is very oversold. I think that's the most oversold. No, some of the most oversold you've ever been. And again, we've seen tremendous recovery. Here, that's right. Again, the last couple of times we talked about this, here when you were oversold, you're at this low point, you did go a little bit lower, and then boom, massive reaction. Absolutely massive reaction from a low to a high. That was a 233% move, okay? Even a little bit more than that. From this event here, you did go a little bit lower. You bided your time for over a month. You probably consolidated. Over a month, you probably consolidated. Here, we've only been consolidating for like a couple weeks. And then 200% move versus Bitcoin. With that in mind, maybe Bitcoin Cash does see something absolutely crazy. Maybe we do, and it's possible. Certainly something at least above $300 should be coming our way, but BCH, BTC, man, I don't know. It could take longer, and this pump could happen while, Bitcoin's moving down and Bitcoin Cash is moving up. If Bitcoin drops 10% one week and Bitcoin Cash is moving up in that time, it can move up 200% but not see a 200% growth versus the US dollar pair, if that makes sense. Stochastics has been oversold grossly for a long time now. It's time to see the light a little bit, time to let that light shine. And then the MACD is honestly bearish, but we're choppy and sideways. I don't know how reliable the MACD or really even the stochastics would be, to be fair. So nonetheless, seems like we're in a recovery point, double bottom action. This again is a part in an overall larger move that we assume to take place over the years to come. Years to come, guys. Years to come. We started to see it back here in May of 2023. It really came to life in January of 2025, and it's providing more and more essence of truth here this year in 2026 in June, July. We're getting this large rounded bottom, which is the base for what could be a multi-year parabolic move. And parabola, whenever people hear parabolic, they think this. That's not parabolic. That's a straight line. That's a pump. That's a wicked pump. That's not parabolic. That's not what that is. Parabolic, it takes time. Rounded bottom, not always do you get a rounded bottom, but when you have a rounded bottom, it's a nice base. It takes time. And then as time goes on, it gets more and more crazy, and it gets more and more crazy. And people think, oh, okay, now it's definitely going to find resistance. And along the way, you do. You find your resistance points. You find them, but you just keep getting crazier and crazier and crazier to the upside until one day, boom, you pop. Right. But parabolic means insane growth. And at this scale, it would be over a large amount of time. Like going into the 2030s, I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to see growth and this growth only increased. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, it just got exponentially faster. Because that's what a parabola is. It gets exponentially faster. Parabola. I don't know why I said parabola. Anyways, I've got nothing else for you guys. I'm just talking at this point. It's an interesting setup. Hopefully it plays out. If not, I would assume that we at least get some type of reaction, right? Maybe some bullish reaction. But if it's parabolic in nature, it should be extraordinary. If it's not, even with this double bottom, even with this rounded bottom, even with this accumulation down here, we should see some nice growth over the years to come as well. And certainly from this point, double bottom. And we can go lower. You can have a rounded bottom and still see a lower low. It's fine. Probably not a dramatically lower low, but a slightly lower low. That can happen. Anyways, take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bitcoin Cash, $203. If I had to guess right now, we're just in a phase where we're slowly moving up. So any dump will get pumped into, any pump will get dumped into. We're probably going to be figuring ourselves out. We get above $230. That could be a point in which we start to break out to this $300 and above level. Maybe higher, maybe. But no matter how high we go, I would suspect that over time we probably come back down. We form some type of double bottom overall going into the later parts of this year and the finale of the bear market for Bitcoin overall. Take care. See you later. Bye.